The movie opens up with a young girl named Emma running for her life through the forest. She seems to be afraid of something following her. While running, her foot gets cut by some glass pieces, but she takes them out and continues running. Before she can arrive at the main road, however, she gets stuck into a trap and is left hanging upside down. With the help of a glass piece, she writes, "Emma lives," on a tree, thinking that others will find it and know about her. The scene then shifts to a couple, Betty and an unidentified man referred to as Driver, who are moving to a new place. Betty seems sad because she's moving away from her friends, but the driver tries to make her understand that that's how life goes on. The couple then stays at a motel for the night. While inside the hotel room, they see the news about Emma on TV. The marking that Emma made at the beginning of the movie has been discovered by the police, and we get to know that 6 months have passed since the incident. Shortly after, the driver turns the TV off and calls Betty towards him. He asks her to remove the towel that she's wearing. At this moment, it's shown that Betty has a wound mark on her stomach. The couple then gets romantic and spends some quality time together. In the next scene, a rich family is returning home after a vacation. When they reach their home, they find a gang of robbers invading their property and taking away their belongings. The leader of the gang, Hoag, asks his gang members to stay aside while he tries to talk to the house owner. The family tries to call the police. Despite the gang leader warning them to stay aside, Flynn, one of the gang members, shoots at the family and kills them. Seeing this, Hoag gets angry at Flynn and pushes him to the ground. He then orders his other gang members to move away from the place as soon as possible. Betty and the driver are checking out from the motel. They pull over at a hotel named Helen's Steakhouse. The driver orders some wine and steak for lunch, while Betty orders some salad. Meanwhile, Hoag and his gang members also enter the hotel. The gang consists of Hoag, his brother Ethan, his girlfriend Tamara, daughter Amber, Amber's boyfriend Danny, and lastly, the violent Flynn. Hoag seems angry at Flynn for ruining the entire plan and asks him to fill up for his mistake earlier. Flynn notices the couple having lunch and approaches them. He tries to flirt with Betty, making the driver angry. Soon, Hoag walks over and takes Flynn away, apologizing to the couple and warning Flynn to behave himself. After finishing lunch, the couple continues their journey. Thinking that the couple is wealthy and that they're carrying valuable items with them, Flynn decides to follow them. As Hoag has asked him to cover up for his earlier mistake, Flynn attacks the couple and takes away their car. Seeing this, Hoag again gets angry at him. Flynn tells him that he's kidnapped the couple and left them at a gas station. He further adds that they're to be interrogated by Ethan for their bank PIN codes and credit cards. However, Hoag warns him that if he continues to do such stupid things, he'll end him. The scene then shifts to Betty and the driver, who are kept inside a gas station with their hands tied to a chair. Ethan tries to threaten the driver by placing a knife at Betty's neck. The driver asks Betty if they're hurting her. Betty replies that she's made up her mind and can take no more of the torture. After that, Betty pushes her neck into the sharp knife and ends herself. Upon seeing this, the driver screams in agony and breaks free of his bonds. He goes straight to Betty and finds her dead. Ethan then tries to attack him, but the driver dodges his attacks and kills Ethan with the same knife. Elsewhere, Flynn is checking out the belongings in the trunk of the stolen car. While searching for something valuable, he finds a girl inside the trunk. The girl turns out to be Emma, the one who we saw at the beginning of the movie. Flynn calls one of his friends to give him a hand to grab the girl. Soon, Flynn and Tamara take Emma inside their house and place her onto a couch. Wasting no time, Emma asks them if they've eliminated the driver. She adds that if he's still alive, he'd come for her and kill each and every one of them. Despite the warning, Hoag becomes annoyed by her words and slaps her. Emma then suggests that they call the police, but Hoag is in no mood to listen to her. He just asks Danny to go and take a look at Ethan. Tamara also insists on assisting Danny and goes with him. Shortly after, Danny and Tamara reach the gas station where they had kept Betty and the driver. There, they feel something is wrong, and Tamara suggests that they carry guns and enter. As soon as they go into the gas station, Danny slips on the blood and falls to the ground. Upon moving further ahead, they're shocked to find the corpse of Ethan. After a while, they load the dead body inside the van and return to Hoag. In the next scene, Amber is explaining to Hoag that the lady they found in the trunk is Emma Ward, one of the missing students who went missing 6 months ago. Out of the 15 students, 14 dead bodies were found, with only Emma missing. Emma tells them that the man they have kidnapped is the one responsible for the murders. Meanwhile, Danny and Tamara arrive and inform Hoag about his brother's death. After that, all of them gather and figure out a plan to kill the driver. Surprisingly, the dead body of Ethan, which is kept in the shed, wakes up by itself. It's then revealed that the driver had taken out all of Ethan's organs and hid inside his body. On the other hand, Emma attacks the gang members and tries to run away, but is stopped by Hoag. At the same time, Emma notices the driver from the window. She then tells Hoag that now she'll wait until the driver kills them all. After that, the driver reaches his goods carrier and takes out his weapons. When Hoag goes out of the house, planning to kill the driver, he gets shot by an arrow from the driver. In no time, Hoag is pulled away by the help of the rope attached to the arrow, and Danny also gets injured by a trap set by the driver. Tamara and Flynn try to shoot the driver, but fail to aim at him. A bleeding Danny is then pulled inside the house, while Flynn makes a plan to escape in their van. To their misfortune, the driver blasts away the van, destroying their only hope of getting away. In the following scene, we're shown Hoag, who is hanging on a metal chain placed over a wood shredder. The driver is holding the chain and torturing Hoag. After some talking, the driver tells Hoag that he's not a serial killer, but a psychopath who likes to kill in numbers. He then eliminates Hoag brutally by dropping his body into the shredder. Back at the house, Amber asks Emma about what she thinks the driver might have done to her dad, Hoag. Emma replies that the driver will torture and kill him. Then, we're shown a flashback where Emma is being tortured by the driver, who tells her about what he did with her friends. He also tells her that she'll live. After suggesting Emma tie the wound tightly to stop the blood flowing out, the driver cuts his own throat. It's then revealed that Emma was the one who saved his life. Back in the present, everyone is tense inside the house. Suddenly, someone knocks at the door, and when Flynn goes outside to answer it, he finds no one, except a bag hanging in front of the door. He then kicks the bag and sees small pieces of Hoag's body dropping out of it. After that, Danny and Amber plan to get out of there using a broken car from the garage. They manage to safely enter the garage, but when they try to start the engine, it doesn't budge. Danny gets out to take a look at the engine. He manages to start it, asking Amber to press the gas pedal. While she's doing so, the driver arrives and pushes Danny's face into the car's engine, burning it. Seeing this, Amber gets terrified and runs away into the woods. The driver chases her and attacks her with his knife, piercing her through her chest. He then leaves Amber to die and pursues the others who are escaping in a car. In the next scene, Flynn drops Danny off at a hospital door and drives Tamara and Emma to a motel to spend the night. Flynn asks the motel owner for a room, who recognizes him as a gangster. After Flynn leaves to his room, the motel owner immediately calls the cops. Later, Emma is taking a shower, while Flynn is thinking about taking Emma to her rich dad and asking for money in return. However, to Tamara's horror, the driver gets inside through a vent and chokes her unconscious. Meanwhile, a police officer arrives at the door and asks for Flynn, but Flynn shoots him and eliminates him. After this, Flynn tells Emma that they should get out of the motel as soon as possible. When Flynn enters the bathroom to get Tamara, he's shocked to see her strangled with plastic. Suddenly, Tamara gains consciousness. This startles Flynn, and he shoots her, finally ending her life. Seeing this, Emma panics and tries to run away, but Flynn chases her and stops her at gunpoint. Just then, the driver arrives in a police car and hits Flynn, knocking him unconscious. Emma tries to shoot the driver, but he manages to dodge every shot. After the gun is empty, Emma runs away to save her life. She reaches a vehicle junkyard and grabs a metal rod. The driver finds her and asks her to surrender. However, Emma refuses to do so and instead attacks the driver with the rod. When she's about to smash the driver's head, he gets up and pushes Emma away. Then, out of nowhere, Flynn arrives with a shotgun. He fires a shot at the driver and manages to hurt him, but when he approaches the driver and tries to shoot him at close range, the driver attacks him with a knife and throws away the shotgun. After an intense battle, Flynn manages to get back the shotgun, but before he can fire again at the driver, Emma knocks Flynn down and takes the gun. She tries to shoot the driver, but fails as she forgot to push the new shell into the shotgun. Impressed by her courage, the driver goes near Emma and tells her that she's free now. He then takes out a knife and cuts through Emma's stomach to take out a tracker. He was using it to track her whereabouts the entire time. After the cut, the driver leaves Emma unconscious on the floor and shoots Flynn with the shotgun. Unluckily, the motel owner has seen everything. As a result, the driver is compelled to eliminate him as well. In the last scene, the driver arrives at the hospital dressed like a doctor. He then enters the room where Danny is being treated. He whispers, "No one lives," into Danny's ears and kills him with a clipboard. When he's exiting the hospital, he notices Emma being brought in. We also hear a news reporter report that Emma was kidnapped by a gang this whole time. This means that nobody knows about the driver. Before leaving, the driver approaches Emma and touches her hands.